Here are the Tales from Retail stories for this video. As always, don't forget to share and like if you enjoy these videos. Without further ado, here we go. The time a customer argued with me about taxes to the point I cry. I've dealt with a lot of rude and verbally abusive customers before, but recently I became a manager and this happened on the night that just me and 2 other co-workers were closing. So being the only manager there at the time, this situation was on me to handle and the man wouldn't take anything I said as an acceptable answer. Me, HM, horrible man, P, the high school kid who was working on horrible man's boat, aka his palm. I work at a boating supply store with an extremely lenient return policy. Basically, as long as you can show proof of purchase, we will take back absolutely anything, even if what you're telling us is a bold-faced lie. We sell an extended warranty on electronics, and if something goes wrong with them, you can bring them back in and get the new ones immediately. But of course, this story isn't going to be as simple as that. So P walks in with 2 subwoofers that have rusted and tells me he's working for HM and shows me the warranty for them. These are about $200 a piece. Remember that for later. P: I have a warranty for this and need to get 2 new ones. Me: okay, perfect. Let me go see if we have them in stock. So I look up the SKUs and of course it is now a discontinued model. This is where it gets fun. There's a lot of different sections in the store and marine electronics is not my strong suit. So I explained this to P and he helps me look at the specs of the new version of the subwoofers and we decided that the new model, which is about $350, would be the right replacements. At this point, P is on the phone with HM explaining the situation, and while I can't hear the entire conversation, I'm able to pick up that horrible man wants these new ones to be honored at the $200 price so that he wouldn't have to pay anything extra. So me and my co-workers go on the hunt for the newest subwoofer and we have one. At this point, the money is on a gift card, the full amount, taxes included. P makes it clear that the horrible man is insistent that we have the other subwoofer at our store ASAP. I tell him that the other smaller store about 30 minutes away has one, but since they close earlier than we do, I can't call to make sure the system is right in saying that they have one in stock. So P talks to HM on the phone some more and they decide that P will just have to drive up to the other store tomorrow to get the other one. We now begin to check out. I honored the $200 price for the $350 subwoofer, but we quickly realized that there will not be enough money on the gift card to cover the taxes of having both of them at this reduced price. Upon P telling HM this, P hands the phone to me. Horrible man: I already have to send my guy and pay him more money for tomorrow to go get the other one. Why isn't this an even swap? Me: it is an even swap on our part. The taxes must have gone up and I don't have the power to change or take off taxes owed. Now, this is where horrible man starts to set up his fake dominance over me to try and make me do whatever he wants. Horrible man: I am so tired of this shit. I've had to call corporate so many times and most recently they gave me 1,000 points for my trouble and here we again having trouble. 1,000 points in our system equates to $40 in cash certificates to the store. We are sitting here arguing over $6 in taxes. It also tells me that this guy is quick to call corporate and complain about anything in order to get rewards. Me: I'm sorry, but there is really no way for me to change the amount of tax it's charging. You would have to either call back or have P come back in tomorrow when the store manager is here and maybe he could do something about it. HM: so what you are telling me is that this is gonna cost me more money. I know there's a number you can call. This is a multi-million-dollar company and you're telling me there's nothing you can do? You guys aren't honoring the warranty. This is unacceptable. At this point, we are taking a $300 loss to make this guy happy, but of course, we aren't holding up on our end of the deal. Me: okay, let me go give my store manager a call. Of course, my manager doesn't pick up, and neither do any of my other managers. So I go back and tell him there's nothing I can do for him tonight at this point. Me: okay, sir, I wasn't able to reach anyone, so there's nothing I can do about the taxes tonight. I'm sorry, but you'll have to come in tomorrow when store manager's back to see if he can do anything then. HM, I am paying P a lot of money to fix my boat and I don't want to send him back there tomorrow. Am I supposed to ask my daughter to take time out of her day to go back tomorrow? So you're telling me this is gonna cost me money either way? Now, the way he set this question up was so that I was going to be a bad guy either way. If I said yes, I sound like an ass and he will call corporate because clearly he's quick to do that. And I can't say no because there is legit no way for me to fix this problem as of tonight. So I try to de-escalate the situation, but we always end up at, so this gonna cost me money, yes or no? He finally gives me this line. This is a multi-million-dollar company. There must be someone who you can call. Go call them. At this point, we've been doing this for an hour in total, and I am mentally exhausted from trying to help this man. As I hand the phone back to P, I start to tear up, and P sees this. I hurry to the back to go call the customer service number, who I know can't waive tax, but I'm feeling out of options at this point. I tearfully get on the phone with them, and they say, while they can't give me a gift card to cover the tax or anything, they suggest using and essentially abusing the discount button to take yet another $6 off the transaction. Once I recollect myself, I head back up, I explain that I'm going to try and take more money off, and this appeases HM. The system lets me abuse the button, and at this point, my mind is fried. I had drawers to close and customers who needed help, and this had gone on for too long. Basically, it came out to having 40 cents left on the gift card. P left, and that's the last I've heard from them. My coworker, who went to high school with HM's daughter, told me that the girl is still in high school, and I can't get over the fact that this man was acting like his high school daughter's time was indispensable. I also later found out that we aren't really supposed to price match the new model to the discontinued one, so this guy got off saving so much money, yet he still had to break a 19-year-old female down to tears. I think it's funny that HM thought it was okay to make me cry, but if it was his daughter, who isn't so far off in age to me, he probably wouldn't have been outraged. P was extremely apologetic and clearly embarrassed that his boss acted like that. He even said that if it still didn't come out as even, he would just pay the small tax and not tell HM about it. And that was the most emotionally exhausting night of my life at work. Thanks for listening. Black Friday is almost here. Here's a story how a mother-son brawl resulted in $1,000 plus damages. It was Black Friday 2014, the department store was a scare. Children were screaming, product was everywhere. I stood at my cash register, near complete mental numb. The line waved in and out, it never reduced by one. Suddenly a crash, what is this about? A boy, barely 14, started to shout. Mom, I hate this place, he said with a sneer. Why oh why do I have to be here? His mother looked to him and gave him a playful shove. It's Christmas, baby, it's time to spread love. The boy did not like that, he did not like that one bit. He looked to his mother and planned his hit. His fist was raised, ready to blast his birth giver. Too much time had passed. The boy's hand was starting to quiver. He couldn't do it, I said in my head. If I did that to my mama, I would be dead. His knuckles slowly lowered into two open palms. Okay, I thought, maybe nothing will go wrong. Instead, he delivered a massive shove to his mom. And there it stood, a misfortunately placed clothing rack, with a metal lip and teeth that can bite back. Not to say it was attractive, but the rack did catch that mother's eye. Blood spouted, staining clothes like primitive red dye. The boy was mortified from the resulting haul. Blood everywhere, his mother, he assumed, was disemboweled. He grabbed white hoodies and thrusted them towards her face. It was too late to contain. Her blood left its mark on this place. A minute did not pass by before she stood up and said, I refuse to pay. I replied, Madam, you're injured. You don't have to worry about that today. She paused and gave me a squint through her rose-tinted vision. She grabbed her kid and left. This Karen refuses to listen. Honey, you're not going nowhere. Ah yes, Sunday night and the lines have started to die down and it was about my time to clock out. My manager looked at the clock and told me to go ahead and sign out so I can work on my putbacks before I clocked out. Then walks up a woman who had her 2 kids in tow with her, while my manager is standing right beside me getting ready to pull my drawer. She whispers to me to go get ahead and work on putting back things when I hear Karen's, we'll call her Loud Ass Karen, or LAK for short, shrill voice saying, excuse me, where do you think you're going? Oh, I was about to go work on putting some stuff back. Honey, you're not going anywhere until you've checked me out. I've been standing here for 5 minutes waiting on you. The least you can do is check me out. But madam, she's getting ready to go home. Would you mind if I rang you up instead? No, she needs to stay here and ring us up. I assured cool manager that I can take one more person before I left. So I tried chatting up the woman while I scanned her items. You know, asking her how her day is and whatnot, only to be met with some passive-aggressive one-word responses and the occasional exclamation of "puh." And while I was scanning, CM tapped on my shoulder and whispered, hey, I'll work on doing the putbacks later. You go ahead and finish ringing her up and then you can sign off and clock out. Your relief is here. And I was about to sign off, Loud Ass Karen starts up again. Wait! I have one more item you forgot to scan. But madam, that piece of candy wasn't up there when I was... Well, it is now. Do it. Cool manager whispers, go ahead and sign off quick. I quickly nodded and signed off as directed, and as I was about to clock out on another monitor, I heard Loud Ass Karen say, why you let her go? She just had to scan one more item. Tell her to come back here. Hey lady, come back and scan this. You ain't going home yet. What you doing? Cool manager looked at me like she had a little trouble holding in her laughter as she scanned her one item while Loud Ass Karen was still scolding a brick wall and told me to just have a nice night. Man, I wish I could get her a gift for having my back like that. Like I said, there's a reason why cool manager is called the cool manager. So those were the stories for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, a like will be highly appreciated. It really does help my channel out. Also, if you enjoyed this and want to stay up to date on the latest videos, then don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for listening, and I will see you in the next video.